If you're looking for a card kit that has everything you need to make a whole bunch of cute cards, this video is for you. Hi everyone, I'm Rebecca Keppel. In today's video, I'll be sharing the Stamps of Life from Stephanie Bernard's card kit. This card kit comes with everything you need, from cardstock to pattern paper to embellishments, stamps, dies, and more. So let's unbox the June card kit and see what comes inside. First of all, I love that this card kit comes with its own Stamps of Life heavy-duty plastic file folder that everything can go inside. And as you saw, it had a label to put the date and whatever else you want on the top right. It comes with 12 A2 envelopes. Again, love that, because then you can actually send your cards. There's a whole bunch of cardstock, including 2 bright pieces of blue, a craft piece, 2 pieces of yellow, really bright pink, a piece of red, and several pieces of white cardstock so you can make your own card bases. There's a pattern paper pad, and you can see all these gorgeous designs. It's double-sided pattern paper, but there's several of the same, so you can choose front or back. There's also a stamp set and a happy retirement die set. So you can see you can use this for birthdays or other celebrations. There's a card that includes several ideas for inspiration. These were some of my favorite. These are felt stickers. They look like rickrack and they come in 4 different colors and they are peel and stick. There's also a sheet of white peel and stick shiny flowers and a sheet of 2 different sizes of colorful peel and stick candles. Those are puffy, and these puffy little round stickers with white dots on top of the pink. There are couple of die sets. One says "You're Sweet" with a shadow. There's candles with a shadow and strawberries with shadows. There's also this gorgeous blue ribbon that perfectly matches that cardstock. Now let's use that fun kit to make a whole bunch of cards. If you've seen my other videos, you know kind of clean and simple but bright and happy is my style, and this kit is perfect for it. So I cut down a piece of cardstock into 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, then cut a piece of pattern paper to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and then trimmed that pattern paper down so it would just fit the top 2/3 of my card. Then I trimmed a piece of that felt in that swirly design to fit across the A2 card. You can see that the felt design is actually 5 1/2, so it can fit vertically on an A2 card, and I just wanted it to be on this horizontal area on my A2 card. So I trimmed it down a little bit, got it a little bit too long, but just flipped it over and trimmed the back. Then I have a couple of those peel and stick candles. In these card kit videos, I like to show you a little bit of everything that comes in the kit. So I want to use at least every supply at least once. So I'm going to use this stamp from the stamp set. It says "Wishing you the happiest of days." I'll treat the cardstock with some anti-static powder and then stamp the stamp with some Versamark ink and pour white embossing powder on top. Pour the excess back into the jar and then heat set that, and you have a gorgeous white sentiment on that bright pink cardstock. Add a couple more of those little candles and then brush away that anti-static powder so that you can really see that sentiment shine on those bright colors. Clean, simple, happy, and fun. Again, I'm going to cut a piece of that pattern paper to a strip. This is going to be a vertical strip, so it is 5 1/2 by just maybe 1 inch or 2. And this way I'll have plenty of room on the right hand side. I stamped one of the sentiments, this time in black ink at the bottom, and I'm going to use another one of those really cute felt rickrack or fuzzy sort of swirly designs, and I'll just put that in between the pattern paper and the cardstock so it's a nice border between those two. I cut out the large strawberry twice out of red cardstock and the shadow out of white. Then I'll just use some small foam squares on the back of the strawberries to pop them up. Again, clean and simple, happy and bright. For this next card, I stamped "Big Hugs and Happy Thoughts" from the stamp set on some white cardstock, and I'm going to trim it down into sort of a larger sentiment strip. So it's more like a sentiment rectangle. And this way I'll be able to have that stand out from the pattern papers that I'm using. I have an A2 piece of white cardstock cut down, and then I cut 3 pieces of pattern paper. 2 of the patterns are the same at the top and the bottom, and 1 is the same in the center as the cherries. That's for the sentiment, to house that sentiment. And then I'll use some of those white peel and stick flowers to accent around the sentiment to draw your eye to the center of the card. Aren't those cherries so cute? And I love that blue with those white flowers. Next, for this card, I'll cut out Happy Retirement out of white cardstock and the shadows out of pink cardstock. The script word is the first letter is cut by itself and then the rest of the word is all cut together. Makes it really easy to line up on the shadow background. I'm just using a little bit of liquid adhesive behind that script word so that I can slide it around and put it right into place on that background shadow. But having the first letter cut separately does really help you to line it up a little bit easier. I have a piece of pattern paper cut to 4 by 5 1/4, and I'll mat that on some of that same pink cardstock that we used for the shadow of the Happy Retirement. Then I'll use some doubled up foam tape to pop up both of the words. I love having the shadow because it makes it really easy to put some foam adhesive behind those words and really pop them up so they stand out from the background of that fun pattern paper. And then I wanted to use some of those pink with white polka dots little stickers and another piece of the felt at the bottom. I am addicted to that felt. I absolutely love it. It's so easy to use because it's peel and stick, and it doesn't add too much dimension to the card, but it adds just the right amount. For this next card, I stamped Wishing You the Happiest of Days on a small rectangular piece of white cardstock. I have my pattern paper mounted on an A2 piece of white cardstock for the back. I'm going to tie a little piece of that blue ribbon around this small piece of white cardstock. This is going to be the central part of my card. Once I have a ribbon knotted around that cardstock, then I use 2 loops and tie them through each other like a little kid would tie their shoelaces to tie a nice bow, and then cut the tails into those nice angled ends. I've cut out all 3 candles out of different pattern papers and then cut them all out of yellow so I would have the flames to snip off and place on top of that pattern paper, and then I glue them down to the white cardstock shadow backgrounds that I cut out as well. So now we have 3 different candles in 3 different sizes. I'll pop those up on doubled up foam adhesive once again and kind of arrange them at the bottom of the card with the smallest candle in the center, just so that I can have all 3 sizes on one card and it kind of makes sense. I'll put a little liquid adhesive behind that ribbon and the rest of that cardstock and adhere it down to the pattern paper adhered to the white cardstock in the back. And again, super simple, nice and clean, but bright and fun and happy. For this card, I wanted to use the Your Sweet dies, so I cut the background shadows out of white cardstock. All of the cardstock comes from the kit that I'm using today. I cut the letters out of the red cardstock, and these are actually individual letters, so you can line them up pretty easily on your shadows, and this would allow you to double up those letters as well if you wanted to. I thought 1 layer was fine with the red, and I used an embellishment tool to pick up the little apostrophe between the U and the RE. Then I matted some 4 by 5 1/4 pattern paper onto some red cardstock that is A2 size, and I put a piece of pattern paper, the B side, with some mint that kind of matched the stems and leaves for the strawberry. Then popped up the Your Sweet in the center of that, so it's kind of a band across the middle of the cardstock, and then use some of those white flowers again as accents around the sentiment. This is a super simple card, but it really pops with those colors and fun pattern paper. I hope you can tell I had so much fun playing with this card kit. I have a few more videos coming from the Stamps of Life soon, so be sure to keep an eye out for those. YouTube thinks you might be interested in checking out this video next. As always, I want to thank you so much for stopping by and spending time with me today. Please stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you again soon. Going for it. Let's see. It's a little too close. I'm gonna do that one more time. One more time. I was so excited to try. I hope you can tell I had so much fun. That's why my brain is melting.